over to Lebanon. We're going to step away for another brief commercial break, continuing with our coverage after this.
Live from Michigan Avenue, this is Good Day Chicago.
Good morning and welcome to Good Day Chicago. I'm Brian Jackson. Here's a look at some of the stories we're following this morning. Several dogs return to their owners after a man steals a van with the dogs still inside. City leaders in Aurora make a decision surrounding the controversial data centers being built in the western suburbs. And we are currently waking up with a dense fog advisory for parts of the Chicago area this morning. I'm now 4:30, checking in with Mike. Welcome back. Just how bad of fog are we looking at this morning?
Yeah, worse the farther north you are, and also proximity to the lake seems to be a problem as well. Good morning, everybody. Here's the view from the roof of our building looking across the river. You can definitely tell it is murky out there. As Brian just mentioned, we do have a dense fog advisory in effect for mainly northern and western portions of Chicago. This includes northern Cook County, Lake, McHenry, Kane, DuPage, and points west. This will be in effect until 9 o'clock. Visibilities are quite low in some areas, less than a quarter mile, but we're seeing just some gradual improvement, especially over the city. O'Hare not too bad with 3 miles of visibility. Waukegan looks like it has the worst of it at a quarter mile. Brian?
Well, we are following some breaking news this morning. At least 3 different vehicles were involved in a crash on I-90 this morning. This is a look at some of the wreckage there. Happened around Kennedy and Nagel. Firefighters put out a fire in one of the vehicles. We're still working to gather more details, and we'll provide those updates as soon as they come into our newsroom. New this morning, the U.S. and Israel hit Iran with more strikes, hitting multiple areas across the country. Witnesses say that multiple buildings and homes around Iran were damaged in these latest attacks. He also said that the airstrikes targeted western Tehran, Karaj, and Shiraz, as well as 4 other Iranian cities. Iran launched a second wave of missiles towards Israel and other countries in the Middle East. Meanwhile, the Pentagon has identified 4 of the 6 U.S. service members killed after a drone hit a command center in Kuwait. The drone strike happened on Sunday, a day after the U.S. and Israel launched its military campaign against Iran, which later launched retaliatory strikes. All of the service members were assigned to the 103rd Sustainment Command in Des Moines, Iowa. Well, time is now 4:32 this morning. 8 dogs are now safe and sound after they were kidnapped while being transported to a pet salon in Lincoln Park. Police said that the thief, identified as a 46-year-old man, stopped at a McDonald's when he was arrested. Dogs were being transported by Marquez Castle of the Dogs when the van was stolen outside of an animal lover's pet salon. The driver of the van told Fox Chicago that he went inside with the dog's belongings. He says about 15 seconds later, he noticed that the van was gone. Nicholas and his wife rushed to the scene to be reunited with their dog, Shadow.
It was the worst 3 hours I've had in a very long time. So this is the best news possible, that she's safe, everybody's safe. That's all that really matters. So yeah.
Like 3 agonizing hours. I don't even know what time it is, but crazy, just crazy. I was very concerned that they would take the van use the van for another means and then get rid of the dogs. So the dogs actually don't have collars on. It would have been very hard to find them and very scary. So a really happy ending.
All of the dogs are now back at home with their families. An Aurora Council committee votes to approve some regulations for some of the data centers being built in the city. Aurora has 4 operating data centers and 5 more are on the verge of being built. Neighbors have been raising concerns about the noise, the drain on electricity, and other issues with the data centers. Companies Aurora told residents that the industry is quiet and does not cause any traffic issues. Neighbors, though, argue that they can feel and hear power sources from 1,000 feet away and utility costs are rising. Aurora residents also have some questions about water and energy consumption and noise levels.
There's also been a really big emerging interest in the use of AI, and we're seeing a lot of people concerned about how AI is affecting their daily lives, whether their data is being used properly, whether AI should be in Aurora at all, and just the fact that AI is driving the increase of the data centers just generally.
The Illinois Clean Jobs Coalition released a statement saying the ordinance takes critical steps to making sure that tech companies pay their fair share and are not working families. Cook County prosecutors have declined to throw out murder charges against a Chicago woman accused of killing her boyfriend back in 2022. Attorneys for 36-year-old Keisha Golden argued that she acted in self-defense when she stabbed her then-boyfriend, Calvin Sidney, following an argument. Golden was 8 months pregnant at the time. Her attorneys say that Sidney attacked Golden following their baby shower. Golden allegedly went into their bedroom and stabbed Sidney in the leg, striking a major artery. The Cook County State's Attorney's Office offered Golden a plea deal to a lesser charge of second-degree murder. It comes with 2 years probation and a felony conviction that will remain on her record.
Women are 6 times more likely to be killed by an intimate partner than men. Yet, homicide committed by men is 10% more likely to be ruled justifiable.
We are very disappointed today that the state's attorney has not agreed to dismiss the charges on Keisha's case. We are asking that a woman whose only crime was to fight for her life and the life of her unborn child be dismissed.
Golden's attorney said that they will continue to fight. There is another hearing scheduled in the case for early April. A renewed push for answers just 18 years following the Lane Bryant murders in Tinley Park. The parents of Connie Woolfolk spoke with the FBI Chicago outside of FBI Chicago headquarters and hopes to bring more attention to the case. She and 4 other women were killed when a man posing as a delivery driver pulled out a gun, forced the women into a back room, and then shot them back in 2008. This case remains unsolved. Woolfolk's mother says the technology should help officials with this investigation.
With all the new technology, social media, that this case don't have to be dormant any longer. There's a reward out. And we're also looking for the help of social media. Somebody knows somebody that knows somebody.
There are more than $100,000 in rewards for information leading to an arrest in this case. In less than 2 years from now, the Chicago Fire expect to open up their MLS season in their brand new stadium. On Tuesday, the team broke ground at their future home in the 78. It is located right along the Chicago River, just south of Roosevelt Road and west of Clark. We have 22,000 seats for Fire games with a natural grass playing surface. The team expects this $750 million project to also bring about 1,000 new jobs to the city.
To control our own schedule. So last year, I think 3 times we got pushed out to the suburbs due to conflicts with the Bears and concerts. Not ideal. Just other conflicts that arise, the playing surface. We can control. Something very important in soccer is to control that playing surface. Now we can do that.
Today is a demonstration of what is possible when private investment aligned with public goals for jobs, neighborhood activation, and long-term economic growth. Today is also a demonstration of what it means when an organization shows its dedication.
The Chicago Fire expect to start the 2028 season at their brand new stadium. Well, the Bears have another position to address just as free agency gets started. And Mike, this one came as a pretty big surprise to almost everybody.
Yeah, really, and this is an important position. You know, who's first to hand it off to Caleb Williams? Yeah. All right, many Bears fans were caught off guard when reports started coming out saying center Drew Dahlman is retiring from the NFL. Reports say Dahlman informed the team of his decision to retire yesterday. He's only 27, and he recently signed a 3-year, $42 million deal with the Bears last season, making the Pro Bowl in his lone season with the team. He played 5 seasons in all in the NFL, spending his first 4 with the Falcons. Now the Bears, they got to find a new starting center to help protect Caleb Williams. The Blackhawks collapse in their game against the Winnipeg Jets. Third period, game tied at 1. Connor Bedard hits an open Ryan Green, who gets the score. Hawks are up 2-1. Under a minute left, though, Cole Perfetti fires a wrister right by Spencer Knight. Well, that was not a good one. Game goes into overtime. With under 3 minutes left in OT, Mark Scheifele gets the puck. He's going to score, and the Jets win. Hawks lose 3-2, getting only 1 point out of that. Bulls also had a rough night. Their 1-game winning streak is over. They hosted the Thunder. Second quarter, Jalen Williams sets up Isaiah Joe for the slam. Thunder up by 5. Third quarter, Chicago down by 8. Here comes Josh Giddey. He's going to hit the 3-pointer. That cuts it down to 5. Fourth quarter, Williams gets the behind-the-back pass to Jared McCain for the layup. Let's see if we get that. Watch this here. Behind-the-back pass. And yeah, that's lovely. That's a good one. Bulls go on to lose by 8, 116 to 108. Better news for these guys. The Illinois men's basketball team picked up a big win against Oregon. First half, Illinois up by 8. Keaton Wagler lays it in, plus the foul. Under a minute left to go in the first. Wagler gets the ball and knocks down the 3. Swisheroo. Second half, Illini up by 23 when Andrei Stojakovic is going to lob it to Zvonimir Isavic for the alley-oop and foul. The Illini wins huge, 80-54. Congratulations to them as they get ready for the NCAA tournament. All right, we have fog out there. You can see a little bit of murkiness there over the city. Let's check out the current temperatures. Interestingly, where there is the thickest fog, we have sub-freezing temperatures. Now, I'm not hearing about any freezing fog causing problems, but Waukegan, that temperature of 29, a little concerning with the low visibility there. 33 at O'Hare, 38 at Joliet, 35 at Merrillville, and at Valparaiso it is 37. We do have that dense fog advisory in effect until the 9 o'clock hour, and it covers areas north and west of the city, Lake McHenry, Kane, DuPage, Northern Cook, and points west. The fog should be breaking up pretty quickly here, actually. As you can see, only a couple of spots with less than 1 mile visibility, Waukegan, Rockford, and LaSalle, Peru. I expect to see these patchy areas of thick fog in those areas for the next couple of hours. Other than that, today's going to be mostly cloudy. There will be some peaks of sunshine. What about rainfall? I've got nothing during daylight hours. I think we have to wait until nighttime. And then I would favor areas well south of the city for getting the majority of that rain. Should scoot out of here in the morning. Then our model thinks we'll get a few showers tomorrow morning into midday across the area. That is a possibility, but it will not be raining all day long tomorrow. And I think we'll have temperatures getting up close to the 50-degree mark tomorrow. The big warm-up is coming on Friday, but it'll be at a price. We'll have a couple rounds of showers and thunderstorms. The first comes through in the morning, then we'll get a high of 70 degrees. And then, believe it or not, we may have to deal with some severe thunderstorms in the evening. More on that in a little bit, right?
Coming up on Good Day, Governor J.B. Pritzker responds after former President Bill Clinton talked about him during a deposition last week.
job.
Here's a look at some of our top stories. 8 dogs are back home after they were kidnapped while being transported to a pet salon in Lincoln Park. The van was stolen outside of Animal Lovers Pet Salon. Police say the thief, identified as a 46-year-old man, stopped at a McDonald's where he was arrested. An Aurora Council committee votes to approve some regulation for some of the data centers being built in the city. Aurora has 4 operating data centers, 5 more on the verge of being built. Neighbors have been raising concerns about the noise, the drain on electricity, and other issues with the data centers. Multiple reports say that Bears center Drew Gallman has retired. The 27-year-old signed a 3-year, $42 million deal with the Bears last offseason, making the Pro Bowl in his lone season with the team. Played a total of 5 seasons in the NFL, spending his first 4 with the Atlanta Falcons. Former President Bill Clinton referenced Governor Pritzker during his deposition with House lawmakers last week. It was part of the investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. He said that he flew on Epstein's private jet to attend charity functions and that sometimes supporters and donors went with him.
I think it was on one of these trips, I think, that I had my first trip for the man who's now the governor of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker, and his wife. They helped me get started.
Clinton's former deputy chief of staff later clarified the former president was citing Pritzker as an example of someone who traveled to see the foundation's work, not as someone who flew on Epstein's plane. Governor Pritzker had this to say.
See, no. Let me be clear. First of all, President Clinton clearly was mistaken, and he corrected the mistake, to his credit. And no, I had never met Jeffrey Epstein. I was never on Jeffrey Epstein's plane. I was never on any plane with Jeffrey Epstein or with Ghislaine Maxwell. Never met her. But you know who did? You know who palled around with both of them? Donald Trump did.
Governor Pritzker said that he had never even heard of Epstein until 2019, when Epstein was indicted on child sex trafficking charges. Parents, students, and teachers at a Chicago high school, they pushed back against changes to their school day. Chicago High School for the Arts is transitioning from a charter school to a school that's run by CPS. Parents said that they've given suggestions and filled out surveys, but they said the CPS just is not listening. Shiars has been told that next year their 9-hour school day will likely change or will be cut down to 7 hours and 15 minutes. The group against the changes spoke out in Humboldt Park.
CPS's current proposal does not demonstrate how we protect students with IEPs. It does not demonstrate how we protect English language learners. It does not demonstrate how AP access, academic breadth, and intervention supports coexist inside a compressed day. We are not resisting change. We are resisting vague assurances replacing structural clarity.
We are asking CPS to tell us specifically why our model does not work.
Families are demanding a conversation with CPS about how these changes will impact students. A Taste of Chicago touches right down at Midway. The original Mr. Beef officially has a new location at the airport. Mayor Brandon Johnson got the ribbon himself. It'll be located at Concourse B. The first Mr. Beef location opened up on Orleans Street back in 1979. The restaurant, of course, is the inspiration for the hit show The Bear. Mayor Johnson says that this new restaurant is a great way to introduce people to Chicago's amazing food scene.
So we have a motto here in Chicago, never done and never outdone. And the addition of Mr. Beef shows that mantra is true, even more in our airports. Midway is the first introduction many people have to this city, and what better way to welcome them than having an Italian beef in tow?
I wonder how the mayor likes his beef. Does he soak it? Does he dip it? We gotta do some investigating, right? Other local businesses at Midway include Connie's Pizza, Billy Goat Tavern, and Gold Coast Dogs. How do you like your beef?
Drenched. I want that thing drowned. How about you?
Just a little dip for me.
Just a little dip
on the side, yeah.
It's so messy that
because you gotta have like all the napkins
I like it. All right, we have today some fog this morning. That's going to go away here in about 4 hours or so. The rest of the day mostly cloudy, but some peaks of sunshine. We'll hit 45 degrees, but there's that east wind, which means it will be cooler by the lakefront. Tonight, chance for a couple of scattered showers around, especially south of the city. A lot of us are getting no rain. 40 degrees for the low, so temperatures really don't drop off that much. Let's look at the 7-day forecast here. A big warm-up is on the way Friday, 70 degrees, but we'll deal with, I think, a couple rounds of showers and thunderstorms. Round 1 in the morning, round 2 late afternoon or evening, and some of those could be rather intense. With that temperature up there, we could get some stronger storms. Over the weekend, highs of 60, both Saturday and Sunday. And don't forget, daylight saving time begins. You'll set your clocks ahead 1 hour Saturday night. We lose an hour of sleep. And then we have a pair of 70s on the way again Monday and again Tuesday with a chance for a few showers. Brian?
Coming up on Good Day, a new exhibit honors the legacy of one Illinois Supreme Court justice. We'll share the details when we return.
Chicago.
Chicago State University is shining the spotlight on the late Illinois Supreme Court Justice Charles E. Freeman. The school held a special celebration to honor him. Justice Freeman made history back in 1990 as the first African-American elected to the Illinois Supreme Court. This exhibit showcases his groundbreaking career and his influence on the state.
We're very honored to have his collection here at Chicago State. We're really looking forward to sharing it with our students and with the public so that they can learn more about this remarkable man.
Justice Freeman retired from the court in 2018, serving nearly 28 years. He passed away in 2020. Brookfield Zoo Chicago gives us a closer look at a sea star and how it eats its meal. In this social media post, the zoo says that sea stars are actually carnivores. They feed on snails, clams, and other slow-moving creatures. They use those tiny tubular feet to move the food to their mouths. Then they extend their stomachs out of their mouths to take the food, digesting it externally before pulling the stomach back in. This is a very cool process to look at. The sea star is showing how it eats a clam. How cool is that, Mike?
Very. I'm fascinated here. I'm squinting to try and look.
Yeah, so it's like the stomach comes out of its body and then kind of like re-ingest the food.
Wow.
Yeah,
very cool. Thank you, Brookfield Zoo Chicago, for sharing that. That is awesome. We have fog out there, and you can clearly see that there from the 2800 camera that we use, which is located at 2800 North Lakeshore Drive. Ergo, the 2800 sign. Take a look at the view from the roof of our building. pretty much the same. We have fog over the city, and depending on where you are, you might see some very low visibility early this morning. It's kind of patchy. Not everybody's going to get this, but there is a dense fog advisory in effect for several counties in Chicagoland, or parts of counties, including northern Cook County, DuPage, Kane, McHenry, Lake County, all of southeast Wisconsin, DeKalb County are in there as well. This will be in effect until 9 o'clock. This time of year, fog tends to go away pretty quickly. I think 9 o'clock is a good departure time for that. Now, the rest of the day, after the fog goes away, we'll see mostly cloudy skies, perhaps slightly thicker cloud cover south, but all of us will see a little bit of sunshine, I think, through the cloud cover. Later this afternoon into the evening hours, more cloudiness, and there will likely be some additional fog forming as well. But rainfall, we get a little bit overnight, but as you can see, the bulk of that is south of the city. Then the question is, will we get some additional rain tomorrow mid-morning? Our model says yes. Not every model says that. I'm going to keep a chance of some scattered showers in the forecast for tomorrow, but I don't want you to think it's going to be pouring all day long. Check out the 7-day forecast. You ready for a 70-degree day? We've got 3 of them in this forecast. The first will be Friday, but thunderstorms, probably 2 rounds in the morning and then late in the day into the evening hours, and that second round could have some severe weather with it. Over the weekend, 60s, and we'll start daylight saving time at 2 a.m., which becomes 3 a.m. on Sunday morning. It is 4:56. We'll come back with more Good Day right after this.
Fox Local.
The President's Homeland Security Secretary is halfway through what promised to be one of the toughest 2-day stretches in quite some time. Kristi Noem appeared before a Senate hearing yesterday and will be back on Capitol Hill in the House today. She's been facing scrutiny over her handling of immigration enforcement efforts all around the country. Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace is under investigation by the House Ethics Committee. She's accused of trying to profit from a congressional